This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Welcome to Australia.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my God.
This is The Cringe is Real, a reality TV recap podcast that probes the notion of the Australian culture cringe. I'm Sam Cremean, pop culture spectator whose love for reality TV is, well, somewhat of an embarrassing obsession. I blame my parents for not letting me watch Big Brother back in the 2000s. I'm here investigating how do our locally produced reality shows both reflect and influence our cultural identity. Or in other words, why do us Aussies find it so cringy seeing ourselves on screen? Sounds serious, but it's going to be fun, I promise. Each week, I'll have a hilarious guest recap and unpack an episode of an Aussie reality show with me. And what cringier way to start than with the surprise return of the Real Housewives of Sydney, starting October 10 on Binge. This week, I'm joined by my podcast mother and dear friend, Jean Lizza, to help me dissect the pre-season trailer. Jean is a multi-talented writer, film programmer and band manager, and you may have heard me guest on her outrageously good Drag Race podcast, You Read It Well. Jean Lizza!
Hi.
Hey, how the bloody hell are you?
I love this, being a podcast
I know.
guest. It's so exciting.
The tables have turned. I'm in the driver's seat now.
Right.
Are you terrified or excited?
I am excited. I always enjoy other people's podcasts. The pressure's off, baby.
And I've learnt from the best. So what an honour to have Jean bloody Lizza on as the first guest ever on The Cringe is Real.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What has got you cringing this week?
Well, I mean, we're in a very strange juncture of history, I think, in Australia currently at the moment. So I have two because
Okay.
I wanted one to be sort of more like personal and one to be more like I think we're all feeling it. So I think the thing we're all feeling at the moment is everything that's going on around the yes vote.
Yes.
The campaign. So this is the campaign for the referendum to decide whether the Indigenous people of Australia can have a say in anything at any point, you know. So the cringe is really real. That's like mega real. I don't know if that's too real.
Oh, no, that's a perfect place to start. And I have definitely seen some cringe content on socials. I've definitely cringed at some people that I'm surprised about in my feed coming out with kind of like, I don't know what this is and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, go and do some fucking research then. Because, you know, like...
It's just not quite got, the campaign has not kind of got it together. So, you know, that definitely has been causing me a heap of cringe. I think there's just some weird existential dread going on around, you know. So that, yeah, it's been interesting. But as far as like cringe, my personal cringe, well, it's like kind of cringe. Can it be half cringe and half flattery?
Of course.
I'm a shallow person, I must say. But I don't know what's happened recently, but I've gotten older, you know, I've gotten to a different age, you know. And so when I was 19, 55-year-old men would ask me out. Like, you know, like it was just classic, you know. My professors, like
okay,
people
that's
I worked
another
with.
podcast, but sure.
You know, just classic grooming. And what's weird is it's come back round full circle.
What, old creepy men?
I am getting hit on by guys in grocery stores. A man asked me out in an elevator in front of his friends yesterday.
God.
And I don't know what I'm putting out to the universe.
Okay.
But the guys in the 50s, aging Gen Xers, just want to say,
Wow.
wow.
So it's
Hashtag me
back.
too.
Something in the water. It's spring.
Yeah,
you know,
spring.
Everyone's getting horny.
Oh, I'm
everyone's
so
getting
horny.
inappropriate. I see that. And, you know, just it's a compliment until it's
not.
a sexual assault. Yeah.
Until it's a sexual assault.
So, Real Housewives of Sydney.
Wowee.
Did you watch season 1?
No.
That's fine. I did, and it was 6 years ago. So
That's a long time
I've been
between
trying to
series.
refresh myself. And look, it had a bit of a controversial reception in the housewife fandom. So I think big part of the reason it didn't get renewed initially was people were like, yeah, great, there's drama, there's fights, there's blah, but where's the soul? Like, where's the likability? It kind of got read for that. I personally, especially rewatching at the moment, I'm like, no, this is kind of great. I think they had it perfect the first time, to be honest.
Why would anyone want soul in a Housewives
Well, I think it's
series?
more, it's like the fights and stuff are fun, but at the end of the day, you still want to like some part of these women.
Sure.
And the friendship dynamics didn't feel genuine. So on all of the US ones, or the ones that are still on at the moment, like, yeah, they fight heaps and throw wine into each other, but you still kind of can see some strands of genuine friendships. These women started from day one and they were literally just like, right, who do I need to throw things at? One of them was like low-key homophobic, and like there's video leaked of like her attacking one of the crew or something. It was fucking wild. And I cannot believe it's coming back, but here we are. And season 2, they've done similar to what they did with the Melbourne reboot, where they've brought back 2 of the girls, but then there's 5 newbies. And the ones they've got coming back, I'm not going to lie, they're not who I would pick. Like in the footy off season or whatever, I wouldn't be like, they're your drafts picks. I think from season 1, the best characters were Lisa Oldfield and Athena X. They were both like your eccentric, insane, loud characters. But they've brought back Chrissy Marsh, who was affectionately nicknamed Chewbacca on the first season. I love her. She was fun.
Sure.
They called her that because she's tall and she's got a deep voice. So let's see if that sticks for season 2, or if they just pretend like that never happened. And Nicole O'Neill, who, speaking of cringe, she was the one who her whole personality was, my daughters, when we're flying first class, I make sure to take them to the back of the plane so they can see the common folk, so they can understand the privilege.
I love an out-of-touch rich person. So good. Real friendship bonds are a really necessary thing. Like, it's weird with reality TV because you can somehow see it even though it's such a highly constructed form. Like, it's weird. I think we struggled with that with Drag Race Down Under this season.
Yes.
We were like, they could be friends.
Well, that
for all we know,
they had no vibe.
Zero
They were
vibe.
literally there, just all doing their own thing. It felt like they didn't even know each other. So yeah, you do need that. Like, you want to see the relationships, and the fights are better when they're more invested.
100%.
You want them to at least have some history, enough history, so that they can, threaten to expose all of their deepest, darkest secrets. That's what I want. Should we go through the cast?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So the first
Newbie.
queen, I keep wanting to say queen. I'm like, this is not a Drag Race podcast. The first queen joining us is Dr. Kate Adams, who is the owner of the Bondi Vet Hospital.
Okay,
So I'm
great.
assuming that means she was on that show, Bondi Vet. I never watched it.
Oh yes, the
one with Chris Brown, the other Chris Brown.
Yeah, the blonde.
Yeah. So looking at her face, her and Chris Brown share quite a few similarities. I'm getting square jaw,
Right.
blonde, big teeth, just a lot of teeth.
White people, some real white people situation.
Well, yes.
Well, they're all white.
So here it says Dr. Kate Adams is a self-made entrepreneur and owner of Bondi Vet Hospital. She's been engaged twice, but is currently single and exploring the Sydney dating scene.
Perfect.
She's our single girlie. Hopefully we get to see her on some cringy dates.
Do they reveal their age, or is that gauche in
I don't know. I couldn't find
Housewives?
it.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah. Maybe they just all we're all 35.
No, it does. It says here, Dr. Kate is a trailblazer in her late 30s.
Okay, cool.
So that's pretty vague.
Okay.
But, late 30s. That means she could be early 40s and they're just being nice. Kate's no-nonsense attitude is only equaled by her well-curated closet of designer clothing. Oh, and she's an Aries.
Okay, so that means she's going to be what? Pretty ethereal? What does that mean? Like, what does Aries mean? Are they oversensitive?
Well,
no, that's Libras.
Yeah, I think is that a flowy sign? I didn't get much from her in the trailer. I don't think she really features much in the trailer at all. So I'm thinking she's going to be filler. But
Feel the queen.
we shall see.
She'll bring a dog every now and then, like a cute animal, and that would be her little thing, her contribution.
It's totally going to be her thing. Maybe she'll be like the Lisa Vanderpump,
Yeah.
with the dog rescue
Yeah.
vibe.
She's the responsible one, perhaps, like the one who's like, I run a hospital. I'm a veterinarian.
Totally. Well, they've
I'm
got
a
her
curer.
here as doctor,
Yeah, the doctor.
The next one is Carolyn Gautier. Or Gaultier? Like, this can't be
Pretend-
a real name.
pretend
So
surname.
these are drag names. Drag names at this point. I'm probably most excited about her just from the trailer. So she's the one in the fabulous outfits with the fake tits out.
Oh, mate. She was a highlight.
Born to be on this show.
100%.
Since her divorce, Carolyn has been focused on raising her 2 daughters. But in her downtime, she likes to focus on maintaining her wellness and her looks.
Right. How interesting.
I'm like, wow.
Wow, what does that mean?
Born in Prague, Carolyn has called Tokyo, Byron Bay, and now Sydney's Bondi Beach her home. So she must be the reason they go to Tokyo in this season because, as we see in the trailer, they always go on a cast trip. Very excited that they're going to
So
Japan.
great. Tokyo is fantastic.
I think she's going to be a main character.
Oh, yeah.
That she features heavily in this trailer.
Oh, yeah. She was dressed like a drag queen, for starters.
Yes.
Tits out. She was like, love having my tits out. I mean,
She
what more
speaks
do
about
you
her
want?
tits in the trailer. She's wearing like a disco ball outfit. Like she understood the assignment.
Yeah. She was like a Michelle Visage, if we're talking about drag racing.
Yeah, honestly, she's giving that.
She
The
is-
earrings are great. The sunglasses are great.
Yeah.
I'm here for Carolyn.
Yeah. And there's a level of tack as well, which I like.
Yes.
Like, it's all going to be high end, but I feel like there's going to be like a tacky kind of edge.
Yeah, but looking at the other girls in the cast, she's definitely the one that stands out. They all look like pretty basic bees.
And she looks like she's going to stand up for herself, which
Yes.
is very exciting. Maybe in a very dramatic fashion. I know I'm extrapolating a lot from this trailer, but I
honey.
feel
That's what we're here to do.
I feel that she will either be confronting people or setting people straight or having feelings.
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah.
But no, definitely the setting people straight stuff, I think.
She's the firecracker.
Yeah.
Like they've put her in as the yeah. Next is Terry Biviano.
Oh,
Again, these names. I'm just like,
Biviano.
who made
Excuse
these up?
me.
Terry Biviano comes from a big Italian family,
No shit.
has built her shoe empire on her own.
Mm-hmm.
She's now focused on raising her 9-year-old daughter, Azura, and who she shares with her husband. No shit, who the fuck wrote this? Okay. Retired NRL star Anthony Minichiello.
Oh, so she's like a...
She's a wag.
Oh, she's a wag.
And I think
Okay.
she's been on a wag show before.
Right.
Because
they're the trashiest of the trash.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
good casting here, I think.
Don't you
Clearly
reckon the housewives echelon look down at wags, right? If we're talking about the hierarchy of
Yeah, maybe.
of dumb bitches, like
Yeah.
or bitches. Excuse me, I don't want to suggest that people are dumb. Do you think that wags are considered like, well, they've just bought in, they've just sort of married into?
Yeah, perhaps.
I mean, they all do, really.
There's definitely a bit of that, I think, the self-made thing. I think that's why in her bio they've led with the shoe empire. And then it's like, oh, and also she's married to a retired NRL star. So NRL, that's American football, right?
No, that's the National Rugby League.
Hang on, we broke
You're
it.
just like, hello, am I gay? Hey, everyone.
We successfully broke the microphones. No, it's still good. Yeah, am I gay? I know. Oh, so it's okay.
The National Rugby
What's
League.
NRL? Is there
I think
not?
there's rugby union and there's rugby league, and I don't know which one's which,
Jean,
and I don't care.
Okay, so it's so. Oh, I was just thinking maybe he's American, but no.
No,
National
NRL
Rugby
is
League.
no.
What's the American football NRL?
NFL?
Oh.
The National Football League.
Okay, thank you, Gina, sports correspondent.
How?
I was just thinking maybe he was going to be like a hot American football guy.
He could be. He
with
could
the,
be
with the
a
thing.
hot.
I mean,
It sounds like he's probably a very white man.
Minichiello.
Yeah. Like
Okay, I'm looking up.
that's an
looking
Italian
up
man.
him
Okay.
because I want to know what he looks like. Is he hot? Oh no.
No.
Not hot. Do you want to come and have a quick... Not hot. He's not hot. Like, maybe... Oh, fuck it. Maybe back in the day he was. I'm not into that.
It's not my vibe. But, you know, like...
I mean,
they
look,
built
I'd
a life
still...
together, you know, and...
I'd still suck him off at a glory hole.
So the Shoe Empire
Shoe Empire.
and Rugby League.
Rugby League, that's it. Moving on.
High-profile people together. What can I say?
Exactly. Next up, we have Victoria Montano. Sorry. I'm going to say that again. Next up, we have Victoria Montano. Montano. Is she Italian as well?
It sounds like lei sei italiana.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would make sense. They are dramatic, the other
She's
people. I can say
hot.
that. I am one.
She's giving me Emily Van Camp energy. Did
Yep.
you ever watch Revenge?
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
what you're
the
talking
one
about.
with she's got the same eyebrows and intense stare as Emily Van Camp. Victoria is the owner of a luxury sports label, Sport Luxe.
Oh.
Great name. And a mum of two. She is also an adrenaline junkie who enjoys heli skiing and show jumping.
Heli
So
skiing.
is that when you jump out of a helicopter and do skiing?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so it's really funny that there's a thing called heli skiing because I have a list of things that rich people die from. And
I'd say it would be number one.
And skiing
Yeah.
is one thing. Skiing accidents, helicopters, and treadmills. They are literally
The things that rich people die
rich
from.
people die on.
Yeah.
Like those three things.
And if you're
she's
Mr. Big,
combined
it's
those
a Peloton.
Wow, sounds like she's fun.
Here we go. Background in real estate, PR, marketing. Okay. Oh, she's a mix of Greek and Italian.
Oh.
Okay, great.
Right.
So they're really
So-
trying to steal the Melbourne vibe with having these, you know, Italians like fight each other.
Yeah.
Lydia and Gina style.
Yeah, we own the ethnic people. How dare you, Sydney?
Because there's like a lot more money in Sydney.
The money in Sydney, and I think that's probably what we...
Yeah.
I mean, the money
They're
is
definitely richer.
preposterous. And, I mean, they say that the harbour is the most expensive real estate in the world. That's what they say
Really?
about it. Sydney Harbour, yeah. It's like among the most expensive, which is... So it's got this cachet, you
Yeah.
know.
Oh, it's
and
bloody
so it's
beautiful.
interesting. But, you know, like but it sort of does make sense as well because... These are second and third generation people who parents have probably moved here, and
Yeah.
they're just benefiting from all their parents' hard work. So maybe it's the new generation of Italian and Greek girls just
True.
infiltrating housewives.
Victoria appears in the trailer quite a lot, which we are also going to recap. So I think she's getting main character energy from that. I also think she's really hot and fierce, and yeah, I'm gonna enter the season with her as a bit of a fave, but that can change very quickly.
What I love about it is there's no competition. I mean, there's a competition amongst themselves.
there is.
I mean, there's totally
There's
a competition.
there are winners and losers.
But not officially. They're not, you know, they're not trying to sort of, they're just like, yeah, it's really just the biggest pissing contest of all time.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think the winning, like the loser, the competitive element is who can get the gays to rally around them and like
100%.
active, like, and call on them to like do their bidding like a warlord.
I mean,
like,
basically,
do you know what I mean?
every person in entertainment should be vying for the gays
Like
at
if
this
Gina
point.
Liano texted me and was like, can you like commit
Murder.
some sort of... I'll fucking do it, Jean. I've already got everything ready to go just in case
She's
that
a judge,
happens.
right?
Yeah.
She can help out.
She'd get away with that. We'd get away with that. Next is Sally Obermurder. Sally Obermeter? Obermurder. She started her career as a TV reporter and host. And then she was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Right.
And the mum of two started the wellness brand Swish.
Okay.
Swish with two eyes.
Disappointing.
She's not new to TV, having been a TV. Have you ever seen her on TV? I don't watch, you know,
TV?
yeah, like that kind of TV. Your Channel 7s and stuff. She looks like she'd be hanging out with Sonia Kruger.
There's definitely a Sonia Kruger
Yeah.
vibe at the bar, isn't there? Like
Yeah.
100%. You know, it's hard to tell. There's a lot of shows where they're like, oh, there's a person, it's a report. You know,
Yeah.
like some like those morning shows that we might not see because we're working.
Yeah. From this bio, I'm thinking the breast cancer thing is going to be her storyline.
Yeah, I'd say so, definitely.
So, you know.
That'd be crazy not to mind that, really, as storytellers.
Totally.
And also like her background as a presenter, that's got to have to come up as well, because there'll be a situation where she'll be like, look, I've got a background.
I'm worried that she's going to be a dud cast member, only because, if she's got a reputation as a TV presenter, she's not going to want to put herself out there.
Yeah.
She's not going to want to expose, you know what I mean? She's going to be doing like brand reputation from the
Yeah.
get-go. I don't fucking want that. I want
Yeah.
girls that are like, you know, in there throwing shit
And
around.
people that do that, they tend to not be encouraged to have a personality. You like, you know, when you're a newsreader or a presenter, you're not like you have one joke that you say to your colleague in the whole thing. So yeah, she's probably very polished and mindful.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Which
We'll
is
see. We'll see.
not things I want from my
I
housewives
know.
team.
I want you pour Prosecco on them and shit
Yes.
happens.
Yes.
Right?
It's like in the new season of Real Housewives of New York, they've just rebooted that with 100% new cast, and like half of them don't drink. I'm like, who the fuck did this casting?
That's unfortunate. That's like doing something in LA. Leave that for Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Los Angeles is all like, oh, on our wellness journey. I'm an AA.
They're so
I'm
boring.
an AA.
They just went
I'm
on
also an AA.
They just went on a 3-day, 3-episode long girls trip to Anguilla, and like the biggest argument was like someone hid someone's phone for like 45 minutes, and then we had like a whole episode of that. I was falling asleep. Anyway, next up we have Chrissy Marsh. So she's Chewbacca. Sure. Back for more. No stranger to Real Housewives, Chrissy's back for her second season with a diverse career that spans the catwalk, business, and charity. The fun yet fierce mother of 3 always brings the energy. Alongside her husband Johnny, Chrissy has created a hashtag. Sorry, snooze.
Yeah, whatever.
We don't need
Fill
this
in the
bio.
blanks.
We know who she is.
Fill in the blanks.
Chrissy was actually great on season 1. While she wasn't like, you know, there were bigger, taller poppies, but she was like still involved. Like she was getting in on the drama.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
So
I love
happy
a supporting character. Gotta
she
love
kind
one.
of talks like this.
Oh, fantastic.
She's like, yeah, Chewbacca.
I'd be interested to find out how the how the cast of the first season sort of utilised what they, because clearly they're happy to come back, and it might be interesting.
I wonder if they all got asked, or if only these two got tapped on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Who knows? Because I think there's definitely like Victoria from the last season. She wouldn't come back.
Sure.
Because she got outed for being a homophobe. But
and some people don't add
Athena
much
X,
as
like-
well. Like they're like, you know, those people that they bring in for a Housewives season, and it's like they go, no, you added nothing, and then they're just kind of removed.
Well, I wonder, because sometimes they even sort of start filming with like a pool, and then like according to how much drama you contribute, you become like a main cast member. And then if you don't contribute much drama, you either get cut or you're just like made like a backup character, or they call them friends of. So you have to piggyback on someone else.
You've got to just if there's drama going on, you got to get amongst it and choose a side when there's like a stupid thing blowing up. Like you need that kind of personality type. If they're passive or too cool, it's just not going to work, is it?
The next returning, I keep going to say queen.
It's so hard.
And then I want to say
queen.
contestant.
They kind of are queens.
They're queen.
but-
Let's just call them queens.
Yeah.
The final queen and the second returning is Nicole O'Neill. So she's the one who, showed her kids the back of the plane.
Oh,
That's
I love
her
it.
claim to
I
fame.
love it. So, do you know much about her history? Did she marry into money? Did she make her money? Is she from poverty? Like those are the really interesting questions.
Here it says Nicole embodies culture and classic beauty. Who the fuck wrote this? With a captivating blend of Swedish and Lebanese heritage. Oh Christ! Nicole's poise and good manners reflect a diverse and privileged upbringing. So how can your upbringing be both diverse and privileged? Like,
She's
what
rich.
are these words?
I think she's rich. I think she's rich. But she's also Lebanese.
Her accent is very posh. Like she's like, oh. So yeah, it's to me it's giving old money.
Oh, I love it.
Captivating blend of Swedish and Lebanese heritage.
God bless ya. Like, just wheel them down from first class to economy.
Exactly.
I always appreciate someone who's preposterously rich. Like, you know, they're all a level of rich, but then there's one or two who are like psychotically
next
rich.
level rich.
Like, that's
I'm going to go ahead and say she's probably the richest in the cast, but I don't know.
You know what it seems like is missing? And not to like...
Cultural diversity?
I mean, certainly.
They all look the same.
Yeah, certainly. It does seem to be that. And also, like, in a tradition of crazy rich Asians... Yeah. Where is our crazy rich Asian?
Absolutely.
But like, I don't want to talk about race the whole time.
Channel 10 did this pilot for a show like years ago called Sydney's Crazy Rich Asians. It was like right after the actual film came out. And they were like, fuck yeah, let's capitalize on this. And then there was Bling Empire.
I watched Bling Empire
on Netflix. So I'm surprised that... Actually, I say this. I'm not surprised at all that Australian television was like, we just want more white people on our screens. Because that's just what we fucking do here, Jane.
We really do.
Yeah,
we really do. It is a shame, but they've tried with the Italians and the Greeks and the Lebanese.
Well, that's the thing. It's very Channel 7 to be like, look, we've got cultural diversity. She's a little bit Lebanese. Come on. So, the season 2 trailer.
Sure. I love.
It
this
looks
trailer.
good, right?
I love this trailer. I thought it really worked well to put the audience at ease in a sense that it's really important that your production value is in line with the image that you're trying to put out there.
Yes.
So I'm all about a low production value reality show. They work in a context, but not in a context of Housewives.
No.
You're showing some affluence there. Like you have to be showing that richness. And so I was really pleased that it looked good. Like,
they look hot. It looks expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's Foxtel or whatever they're called now. It's Binge.
Yeah.
So it's like they always do a good promo and everything. It always looks quite expensive.
Yeah, no, they did a really good job of the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it even looks more expensive than some of the stuff coming out of the States. Like when they used to do Australia's Next Top Model as well, that always, like the promos and everything for that used to always look insanely good.
Well, it's really important stuff. I mean, this trailer is the hook, you know, like, and you're trying to hook people who you're like, remember this show from 6 years ago where we're back?
Remember when a woman threw someone's jacket into the harbour the first time they went up for that? So we open with a stunning shot that sweeps over the harbour at dawn.
Mandatory.
Beautiful.
Mandatory shot.
We're in Sydney. It looks stunning. It's aspirational. Then Victoria goes, I love living by Sydney Harbour. And then someone goes, very lucky. They all sound the same, by the way. So half the time I don't know who's saying what. Then Victoria goes, I think that people have a view that it's full of snobs or people who like think they're better than other people. And then it goes, and we get another shot of the skyline. This time it looks a bit CGI. Mm-hmm. I did. Then she goes, they're actually pretty spot on.
Love it. We're snobs and we're better than everyone.
Perfect way to start.
Perfect.
I was living for that.
Yeah, what a statement.
As a Melburnian, hearing Sydney people admit to being snobby like gives me a stiffy. So I'm already into that. Mm-hmm. More sweeping shots. Someone says, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it does make it a whole lot better. Mm-hmm. And then they cheers. Cheers, girls. Then we get a montage of all the girls and their names. Bang, 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 bang. And this is where Carolyn comes in. she goes, I'll be wearing something highly inappropriate. My boobs will be hard. No, my boobs will be my boobs will be hard.
I read that before. When I was read it, I was like, that is wrong. She doesn't say my boobs will be out.
Oh, my boobs will be out. Okay.
My boobs will be out.
My boobs will be hard. My boobs will be out. I swear she said hard, but you're right. It's probably out. My
Oh,
boobs
it's
will be
or
out.
something.
Because where else am I going to put them? And then we get like a runway montage of everyone in their looks. What did you think of these looks? Was there any standouts?
There was nothing that I don't know. There was nothing that really stood out, but it gave me that like rich bitch. This is just something I maybe even just throw on. This is just one of many. Like it wasn't too demonstrative. Do you know what I mean? Like too performative. You know, like it isn't the final look for Drag Race. You know?
It's a lot of brand. I think it's like very brand namey, but that's Housewives.
Is it just lots of Colette Dinnigan? What is it?
No, like as in, well, so then we get the clinks and then Chrissy goes, not on the Chanel.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Not on the Chanel.
Beautiful
Chewbacca.
premium brand. Yep.
So Chewbacca's already coming on strong with the Chanel drops. Then Victoria, wearing a huge jacket and glasses, asks a terrified gay waiter, so what are your jobs? To which he replies, oh, whatever makes you happy, really. So she's terrorizing gay staff.
Cool wait staff. That's good stuff.
They do this every season. Like one of them decides to like hit on everyone.
Okay.
It's like,
the horny one.
The horny one. Yeah, they designate. So clearly that's going to be Victoria this season, making me like her even more.
Yep.
Now we're in Tokyo. Carolyn goes, welcome to Tokyo, ladies and ladies.
Yes.
Excited?
I'm
so glad they're going to
That's
Tokyo.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Tokyo is such a great place for them. And it used to be, up until recently, people like you and I couldn't afford to go to Tokyo. It's been only in the last 15 years because it was previously a place where they'd be like, be careful, you may spend $100 on a steak or $1 million on a taxi. You know, like it was really for well-off
now
people.
for Aussies, it's like,
you know,
$100 Jetstar flight.
Thanks, Jetstar.
Yeah.
But
have you heard of people refer to Japan as hipster Bali?
No.
I heard that once. Someone was like, I'm going to Japan. Oh, hipster Bali. Then someone goes, the egos are enormous. Carolyn goes, so who are we burning at the stake tonight?
Oh,
they're all sitting around having dinner. That's a good line.
Yes.
I like that one.
Yes.
Maybe it'll turn into the traitors and someone will be banished each night. Then, okay, Jean, I love this line. Someone, I don't know who, goes, when it comes to friends and family, you praise in public and criticize in private. To which I say, duh.
Okay.
All right. It's like,
Not as clear a message as some of the other messages in the trailer as well. So it's like, okay. But also like, that's kind of boring. Like,
so boring. But I'm like, please tell me that's not someone's tagline. Like, I want it to be more creative than this. Then Terry and Victoria seem to be in an argument at some point. Someone goes, why are you making it so personal? And then there's, oh, I'm sorry. And then there's, I need a flow chart. Which,
just to understand what's going on, right?
yeah, which I'm like, can I have a copy? Because
I love
it's
it.
going to make my job recapping this season much easier. Then Carolyn's like storming off. So we already know there's a storm off. And Terry goes, Carolyn, sit down. And Carolyn's already gone. And she turns around and here we get the money shot of the trailer. She goes, you can go fuck yourself.
Charlene.
yeah. Which, like, so I don't know if you've seen any of the YouTube compilations of Real Housewives of Melbourne, but like the way those women tell each other to get fucked or go fuck themselves, it's literally like bang, bang. It's like a machine gun of you can get fucked. Oh, go fuck yourself. Blah, blah. So the fact that we just get the one in the trailer, I'm like, are they like, you know,
pulling back?
Drip feeding? Yeah.
Or is it going to be another? You would think that in a trailer, they're clear signifiers for the key thing. So we think about it. We've got the top at the beginning where it's like, you know, we think we're snobs and we are snobs, and then you've got breasts like perfect, you know, and those are clear kind of like you go, yes, money shot, and then they're like, you know, I need a map. You know, I need a map for you bitches. You know, like all that's really clear. So for me, I think that's the function of a trailer, right? Is it's to really be like, this is the heart of the show. So if they've done the trailer correctly, you would assume there'd be heaps of get fucked. Fucked out of here.
That's the thing. I wish there was more go fuck yourselves in the trailer. Also, it's really unclear who is saying what in this trailer.
I have no idea.
They've used a lot of audio clips out of context, which I'm like, no. This is a brand new cast. I need to know who the villain is now. Like, tell me. I'm a big dum-dum. Tell me who the villain is. Like, I watched this trailer about 700 times before you came over, Jane.
Yeah.
And I still don't know
I
who's doing what. So maybe that's a good thing because we're not spoiling anything.
I don't know unless they're going to. Are they going to release an extended cut? Are they going to release like
I don't want
Meet
to have
the
to
Queens?
do this again. Meet the. They
really
might.
should. But that's the challenge for the storytellers, isn't it? Is to tell me the stories of these people. You know,
Exactly.
with their shoe empires and their vet hospitals.
Exactly.
You know. Come on.
So after the go fuck yourself, we get Chewbacca going, oh, jeez. And then that's the end. Goes, dun, 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 and then we get the, you know.
The binge logo
the
come
splash.
up. Wow. I loved that trailer.
It was great.
I really, the rich, the affluence, that all really came through. And I'm not a Housewives aficionado, but for me, it seemed in line with any of those other ones. Like, it just seemed like, this is totally what it would look like in LA or New York or wherever, you know, like
punching the weight. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think that's why people were so surprised with the success of Real Housewives of Melbourne, because it did punch above its weight. Like, I think no one thought it was going to be any good. We were all, you know, because we cringed. We were all like, this is going to be shit. And then when it was so fucking iconic, we were all like, yes. So who knows? It could do this. I wanted to quickly read a YouTube comment that someone left. Declan Patrick Egan 7.
It's always a Declan.
Yeah,
I just want to say it's always a Declan.
They write, I hope this delivers drama. Foxtel/Binge need to realise that season 1 was actually amazing and the best kind of chaos. I agree with you there, Declan.
Declan is the gayest man alive.
And then it goes, who cares what America thinks?
You know what, Declan? 100%. 100%. We need to stand on our 2 feet. And also, like, just the assumption that we assume that things are going to be crap, you know?
And then he goes on to say they would have eventually got on board because it delivered the best drama. From this trailer, I hope Carolyn brings it. But I think he's got a point. I think if they just fucking kept making Sydney, I think it would have
absolutely
developed and gotten good. I feel like now it's a bit too late. I don't know. And the reboots don't normally do very well.
You really do have to give things time.
Yes.
You know, and that's the issue that we have here in television making in Australia is like it's just famous for, like, you know, people getting a show and Kerry Packer, like, pulling the pin, like, you know, 3 episodes in from his freaking limousine as he's driving around. That's the actual stories of, you know, like, so and shows need time to breathe. The writers need to, and the thing is, like, it's about giving people an opportunity to catch up and become familiar and lock in. And
exactly.
It's weird that we don't get that sometimes, and maybe it's the limited funds that we have here and stuff.
Do you think the cringe, the culture cringe that I'll be talking about a lot on this podcast comes into that? Like, do you think Australians don't want to support these shows?
I think Australians specifically really struggle with seeing themselves reflected, you know, and that's because we've been conditioned to, like, not feel like we're good enough on a world scale.
Yes.
You know, and you really feel it when you compare yourself to New Zealand, because, like, they don't have those feelings. Like, you know, they're like proud of their content and they're proud of the things that come out and do well. So it definitely has an impact, like a major impact. And you know, it's weird because I think we need to, like, really address it, because it's like, can we get behind things? We're really hard on ourselves. We really, really are.
Totally. And I think we make unfair kind of comparisons, or we're expecting our shows to be like exactly the same as American shows.
Yeah.
Particularly when it is like a franchise version.
A reboot
that we're
and
doing.
stuff like that.
It's like, why isn't it exactly like, you know, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or whatever? But I think that was the amazing thing about the early days of Real Housewives of Melbourne. We could all get into it because it was like, it was ours and it was unique and it was silly, and all of those cast members just like absolutely lent into themselves and their ridiculousness, and we all celebrated that. And then the fact that it like got picked up, and became quite popular overseas as well, I think, you know, is testament to that.
There's always a struggle with like a remake, you know, just generally. I mean, obviously a different version of a Housewives in a different city is a slightly different thing. But you see it like when something is remade, it really has to like stand on its own 2 feet and do its own thing. If you think of The Office, like there's the English version, and then there's you think of Shameless, and then there's the US version and stuff like it. The ones that don't do well are the ones that aren't doing their own thing.
Exactly.
You know?
'Cause, like, remember when they tried to do Kath and Kim in America?
No.
That didn't work.
No.
Firstly, I think Americans aren't good at, like, lower class people on their screens. Everything has to be aspirational over there. They need rich people, storylines, all that shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's why Roseanne was such a revolutionary television show.
Totally.
Because it was one of the first times that they showed people who were not affluent.
They don't want to see like middle class or like suburban people on screen unless it's like some crazy redneck honey boo boo thing. So that didn't work. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited about this season. I think it has potential. The cast, like, for me, obviously, I've said the standouts for me are Victoria and Carolyn. They got probably the most airtime in the trailer as well, from what I can piece together. What are you hoping from this show?
Well, I'm assuming that there's going to be some events, like, you know, big events that they're leading to, like launches and things like that.
Someone will definitely launch a product.
Someone will definitely launch a product.
I can put money on that.
Yeah. And so it'll be a lot of drama. And I always love these staged events that they have in Housewives. It's because they're so weird.
Yeah.
They're such empty affairs. Like,
Oh, totally.
even in Beverly Hills, like,
when
you're
they
like,
try and make it look like there's heaps more
heaps
people
of
there, and they're all in the corner, like with the cameras on them. So good.
Yeah.
It's my dream, Jean, to be at an event where they're filming one of these shows. And I can just like, you know, photobomb.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely the events, and also just seeing who teams up, like who goes, okay, we're the BFFs of this season, and like see how that plays out, because there's always one's the like really supportive BFF, and then there's the one who's just having fucking drama with like every other person, and they're there like being the supportive. Like, so I'm interested to see that as well. You know, definitely.
Yeah, I wonder how many of them know each other previously.
So interesting.
I'm hoping that what they've done this time is like actually tapped into a real friend group. And from reading those bios, they sound like the kind of women that move in the same circles.
Oh yeah, yep. It's really just Australia, the showcase of Australia as well, because it's funny, like, because Melbourne is like, you know, people overseas like potentially don't know what Melbourne is, you know, but Sydney is Australia.
Exactly.
Sydney is the postcard image of Australia.
The postcard of the icebergs, pool, and the friggin'
the harbour,
all
bridge,
of it. Like, that's
the
what people
opera
think.
house. Like,
They think we all just like go to the beach every day.
Yeah. You don't do it here, but like probably there.
Yeah, it's too fucking
but yeah,
cold
that's
there.
what people think it is. So it's in some ways I've got like it's a bit of a responsibility, you know. But is this where my cringe is coming in as well? Is this where I'm like, oh no, it better be good?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I just want it to be distinct. That's what I want it to be.
It definitely will be. I think it's dripping with Sydney energy, and I'm fucking excited to tear it to shreds every week.
Yeah, I am too. I can't wait to listen.
Thank you so much, Jean Lizza. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. I can't wait. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
what an absolute pleasure it was to have Jean Lizza here with me recapping the trailer for what's sure to be an insane season of The Real Housewives of Sydney. So it starts in a few weeks and I will have a different guest with me each week, recapping and having a lot of fun. So make sure you follow in your feed so you can see when the new episodes come out. See you next time.